Students, welcome to UNESCO's Right to Education tour. Hold on, you might be thinking, a right to education? What does that even mean? For all of us in this room, education feels like just another fact of life, a simple, everyday thing. However, education isn't always accessible, and this isn't just a thing of the past. In many parts of the world, millions of people, especially girls and women, have never even set foot in a classroom. Just think of the women in your life. Imagine your mothers, sisters, teachers, peers being unable to get an education just because they are women. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights and UNESCO defines education as a fundamental right for every man, woman, and child. So when we say that everyone has the right to education, we're not just stating an obvious fact. This statement is filled with pride from efforts made throughout the years to ensure that education becomes a basic human right to allow anyone and everyone in the world to study. There are two main reasons why the right to education is important. Number one, education is the one thing that transcends your social and economic status. It doesn't matter if you were born poor or rich. Getting an education can help you to reach your full potential. Number two, by acknowledging that it is a right, education becomes something that we can defend and ensure. This means that organizations like UNESCO can set international standards for education and hold countries accountable to ensure that the right to education is guaranteed by law. The world is a big place with 7.6 billion people. How does UNESCO uphold the right to education for 7.6 billion people? On a global scale, firstly, we hold conferences where leaders can come together to develop conventions, such as the Convention Against Discrimination in Education, norms and standards to ensure equal opportunities in education, defend teachers' rights, etc. These conferences are important so that all countries agree and say, this is what education should be for human beings, regardless of where they are from. We monitor how states are implementing the right to education for everyone, and what laws and policies are adopted to ensure this right. Periodically, UNESCO consults its member states, requesting them to share information on how they are guaranteeing the right to education, and makes recommendations. UNESCO also maintains an online observatory to disseminate information on this. Finally, we advocate for the right to education through studies on key issues, such as the right to education of refugees, or examples of how education laws in specific countries are enforced. On a local level, we go in and provide states with all the tools they need to reinforce their educational system. We also help countries align their national education reforms with international standards. What this means is that we make sure their laws and policy frameworks are in line with the standards organizations like ours have set. This is so states can provide solid and comprehensive educational systems for their citizens. UNESCO has much to do. 263 million children and youth have no access to school. Less than 1 in 5 countries can provide 12 years of free education for their citizens. In certain parts of the world, for example, girls, immigrants, and people with disabilities have a hard time exercising their right to education. Many factors contribute to this, such as poverty, conflict, and natural disasters. Despite this, we at UNESCO keep on working to make sure the right to education stays an international priority. This is why we have exhibits like this, to remember what has been done and what needs to be done, so that people all over the world can learn and achieve their dreams. Thank you for coming today, and enjoy the rest of the tour.